Hello my beautiful caterpillars, and today we are doing the Physicians Formula. What is this called? Minimal Wear Talc-Free All-in-1 ABC Cushion Foundation in the color Light. And this is going to be a foundation review of the Cushion Foundation by Physicians Formula. So yeah, I'm just going to say off the bat, cushion foundations, or at least this one and what I've heard also from other ones, they don't work very well if you have oily skin, and I have definitely found that out. It works a lot better if you have like dry or extremely dry skin, like if there's kind of like any kind of like oil or moisture on your face, this product isn't going to work very well. I have combination skin. Sorry, my window is open and I don't want to shut it because I like the air. It's hot in my room. I like the air coming in and out of my room, so I'm sorry if you can hear my blinds. I hope you can't, but you're kind of near it, so and it's just warm in here, so I kind of need to use this. Anyways, as I was saying, if you kind of have any bit of oil on your face, it doesn't work so well. I do have combination skin, and so I find like my forehead here and my chin kind of wipe off of this foundation, but the parts where my skin is dry, which is kind of more on my cheek area here, it works beautifully. It is amazing. I have a love-hate relationship with this foundation. For dry skin, I think it is amazing. I love the concept of, you know, you have to really make sure you like shut this very well, because you don't want it to dry out, because this is kind of where you get your foundation from. You dot this and then you put it on your face, which I like because then there's a lot less mess. You don't have it all over your hand. You're not like actually like continually, like I guess with a pump too, you're not actually disinfecting, you're putting on your hand. I just like the fact that like everything you need is right in here, you know, like your foundation, everything. You don't need to take brushes with you or like a sponge. You have it all in this little compact case, and I really like that. It's like for traveling wise, and this is so pretty. Like look at that. That is so like just sitting out somewhere. It just looks super pretty. It doesn't look like, it would look more like maybe blush than something like this, which is not actually a foundation, it's a primer, but a lot of foundations come like this or in glass bottles or something, or something like this. It just, I feel like this, I don't know, not take up less space, because this obviously doesn't take up a lot of space, but like traveling wise and stuff, like you don't need to bring a foundation brush or like your Real Technique sponge or anything, or like your beauty blender. I'm trying to put that away. Anyways, you don't really need that. You just have it all in a little compact case. I mean, you can use it with a beauty blender. You can use a sponge that it provides with, or I use a sponge. I go back and forth. I find both work the same. I'll use a sponge some days, but I find it takes a lot to get on the sponge too, so I like using my Real Technique sponge. I like to use it dry. I tried using it wet, and I found, because this is such a light coverage, like it's light but it's buildable, if you use it with it being wet or damp, it just kind of, especially on my forehead, it does not stick. It's just like so light that it doesn't really like go on very nicely, so I like using it dry. I find it works better. So if you have a beauty blender or a Real Technique sponge, I recommend using this dry. And if you have extremely oily skin, I do not recommend this at all. Dry skin, beautiful. It'd be amazing. You would look gorgeous. I think you would love it. I really like it as well, but as I said, for oily skin, it's not so great. But I don't find, like, after I powder it, with the Rimmel London Stay Matte, which is a long-lasting press powder, and I use 012 Buffing Beige, that it is not oily at all, because when I first put my face, like, put it on, it can kind of be a bit dewy and oily and shiny, but as long as you powder it, it's okay. And I mean, I don't really notice that my face gets super oily to the point where I actually need to powder it. So if you have like really oily skin, you use powder a lot, I don't think this is very good. But I don't usually end up powdering my face. Like I'll powder it once in the morning to kind of set everything, and then it's good. But also, I don't recommend using any kind of primer with this kind of foundation, because like I said, if anything is oily, greasy at all, or anything kind of like on your skin that, you know, isn't normally there, so like a bit of a shine or anything, it makes it super oily and like looks super shiny on your face, and not like a dewy kind of shiny, like you've got like an oil slick field like wherever you normally are oily. Like, so when I put my primer on, my face just looks like super oily, and then when I try to powder it, it kind of takes off the foundation. So I don't recommend using a primer at all with this. If you can get away without using a primer, do it, unless of course it makes you less oily, then maybe you would help with this. I don't know, try it out, but that's just what I find I like using. I don't like to use my primer because it makes my face super greasy with this stuff, and then even when I powder it, it still looks greasy throughout the day. So when I don't use a primer, I don't find that it is like a slick oil field or anything, as long as my face is nice and dry and there's nothing on it, because, you know, my thing isn't like oily, but it like does leave you with that like creamy consistency. Like, there's a bit of a shine. I mean, it isn't like oily or greasy. It does get absorbed in the skin quickly, but I mean, if you did put a primer on, maybe wait till it's like fully absorbed into your face before. It just feels kind of like a moisturizer on your skin, so if there's like a moisturizer on your face, it will like make it look super greasy. But other than that, I love this foundation. It wears a long time on my places where I'm not oily. Like my forehead, it will start to go during the day, which normally happens, and then my nose will get like kind of throughout the day rub off, but I also have a runny nose too, so I'm constantly blowing my nose, so that makes sense as to why it like will be rubbing off. And then my chin usually rubs off too. But my blush and my foundation, my blush and my bronzer, I noticed that they last all day. Like at the end of the day at like 6 o'clock, I'll put my makeup on like 6 or 7 depending on what time I have class that day, and at like 6 or 7 at night I will still have my foundation, my bronzer, and my blush will still be on my face, like pretty much just as like well as I put it on in the morning. And with other foundations, I notice my bronzer will still be there, my blush is usually gone, but I feel like it does a really good job holding everything. Like, it keeps everything like on my face together. It's just my face is oily, super oily here, or oilier here, so it doesn't hold as well. But like I said, it's perfect for dry skin. But I love this. I like it more when I don't have anything on my face, because then my face isn't like greasy. Like, it looks really oily, and then if it does, I just pat it down, like powder it, and then it's fine. But normally I don't have to like powder throughout the day, and with this one I don't. But when I do wear a primer underneath it or anything, my face looks super oily, so I have to powder a bit more. I'm hoping I'm making sense. So if I wear primer with this stuff, my face gets like super oily throughout the day, even if I do powder it. And if I don't wear my primer, my face doesn't get super oily throughout the day with this foundation, and I don't usually have to powder my face a bunch of times or like blot or anything, because I don't find that my face is like super shiny. So again, not recommended for oily skin, so I never usually have that issue. Even so, am I making sense? Do you guys get what I'm saying? I feel like I just keep reiterating the same term and I'm kind of just beating around the bush. So what I'm trying to get at is, if you have oily skin, do not use this foundation. And like, the only time it makes me oily is when I use my primer, and like if I use my primer and other stuff, it doesn't make my skin oily. So yeah, again, definitely, I feel like, have I said enough times, this is like great, but not if you have oily skin. Like, I have combination skin, so I can kind of get away with it. My skin isn't like super duper oily, and I have like mattifying powder, which works amazing because like it took away the shine like that, which was really nice. So if you have really oily skin, maybe you should look into trying this, because you know, it made it matte like no one's business. Plus, if I use this wet as well, like it won't stick as well to my forehead. It'll like, as soon as I powder it, it'll be like gone. I'll just wipe it away as well too. So again, using it dry, or using it the little sponge that it came with, and then making sure that you really close this up so that it doesn't dry out. but I normally just like will dot it in a bunch of times. I find I get more product on here than I do with this sponge, and then you just pat it all over your face like so. I don't even know if I can see what I'm doing. I don't even know if this is gonna look good if I just put like way too much or something on my face, but anyways, I love this. I think this is amazing foundation, and I wish it worked for oily skin because I love the consistency of the formula, the packaging, the idea of it, like just the sponge foundation where you don't actually touch the foundation and you just super annoying. Bus is going by. I'll just wait till he leaves. Okay, I think it's quieter now. Sorry if you can hear the road outside. That was a bus going by. I guess, what was I even saying? I don't remember what I was saying now. But I really do. I like the formula, I like the packaging, I like Physicians Formula, I like the consistency of the foundation, I like the idea of, you know, the whole like sponge thing, and you just get it that way and you kind of get your product out that way. But I really like it, and I definitely recommend it if you have dry skin. If you have extremely oily skin, stay the hell away from this because it'll just make you, it won't be good. It'll be a disaster. But dry skin, because I have like dry patches in my face and it just looks so gorgeous and I love it. So yeah, this is my Minerals Wear Tactile Fair Cushioning Foundation, and I've been wearing it a lot over the past 2 weeks, and I've been playing out with it, and I really, really like it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the review. Yeah. And if you want to try out other cushioning foundations, if you don't like this one, or you're like, I can't find it, I find it's harder to, it kind of can be expensive. Like I got mine on sale for like $12 with a $9 rebate, so if you can like find it on sale and with like a $9 rebate, I totally recommend getting this because then it's super good. Like $12, $12.99, and then $9 off of that, and you just send it in and you get like a $9 rebate back. Like that makes it like $4 or $5. I can't do math. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, so like $4 for a foundation. Pretty good deal, I think, anyways, for something that like I don't know. Can you tell that I really, really like this foundation? Although it only has, oh no, it's got 14 mils. Okay. How much is a normal foundation? 30 mils, so not quite a full bottle, like a 1 ml thing of foundation, but still I think it's really pretty. And yeah, so I hope you guys, and aka I'm not sponsored by this because no one sponsors me because I'm just a little, no, I shouldn't say, I know no one does sponsor me, but I am not sponsored. I'm just, these are my actual true opinions, but I definitely do not think that it is good for oily skin. Can I drill that in your head? Dry skin, amazing. Oily skin, combination skin, did I say dry skin? Yeah, dry skin, amazing. Oily combination, not so good. Oily, if you're like an oil field, stay the hell away from this. But yeah, it doesn't actually have a lot of color selection in this one though. I think it's got like light, medium, and then like dark. It's got like 3 shades, so it's not the greatest shade wise match foundation line, but I'm light, so I can usually just get away with the lightest foundation color that they have. Like I'm fair, I've got pale skin, so I feel like I can usually get away with the lightest one. So yeah, just keep that in mind as well. I forgot to mention that, but there's not a whole lot of color in the line. I think there's only 3 or 4 foundations, but I think they're really pretty. So if you can find it in your shade, possibly, I recommend picking it up. But yes, anyways, I need to finish this video. I need to go. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys enjoyed this foundation review and found it helpful. And I'll see you later. Goodbye, my beautiful butterflies. Mwah. Bye. Hello, beautiful caterpillars, and today we are doing Project 10 Pan update number 1. Hello, beautiful caterpillars, and today we are doing the Origins face masks reviews.